gosh, I'm pregnant! Hi everybody, welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Chelsea, and today, as you saw from the title, will be a how we found out I was pregnant kind of thing. So, disclaimer, some of this might be a little bit TMI, so for say like my brothers-in-law or whomever else are watching, possibly. They're probably not watching, but just in case, maybe have your wives watch and then they can edit out the TMI stuff for you. So let's just get that straight there. Okay, I'll start out a little bit before the day that I found out I was pregnant, just a little bit of background story. My husband and I were trying for 6 months to get pregnant. A little bit like on and off before that, but then we went on vacation where the Zika was, and so we had to wait 3 months, and then we started trying for 6 months. And I know all the doctors and whomever else say if you're 35 or I don't know quite the age, some 30 years old or younger, you need to be actively trying for a year before you set a date with a fertility clinic. But my periods have never been regular, ever, like ever since I started them. Sometimes, I mean, it was totally normal for me to go 2 weeks late, and that was just normal. You know, sometimes I would be a week early. Like it wasn't completely, like I have no idea when I'm gonna start, but it wasn't completely regular either. So with that being said, it was hard to know when I was ovulating because I didn't know when I was gonna have a period. I would track my period on a period app, and the one I used is just called like P Tracker. I'll see if I can find a picture. It just has a little flower on it, white background and a flower. So I still was tracking my period. I still was not regular. So I went out to visit my cousin, or my family, in January of 2017, and my cousin, who had irregular periods as well, she and her husband had to use a fertility clinic to get pregnant with their first daughter. So she was like, don't even, sorry about that. My cousin said to not even go to your OB and try to do medication or treatments with that, just go straight to the fertility clinic and maybe even do it now. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it now. I know we've only been trying, I guess, five months at that time. But I was like, I don't know how long it's gonna take after we go to the fertility clinic. And, you know, I'm pushing 30, so I will be 29 by the time my baby comes. So anyway, I was just like, I don't even care what all the doctors say. I'm gonna be paying for it. If I wanna start 6 months early at the fertility clinic, then I feel I have the right to. So I get home from Utah, that's where my family is, and I call the fertility clinic, set up an appointment, and of course it was a month and a half-ish, 2 months out to be able to see me for first time consultation, which I kind of figured it was gonna be a long wait. So I called them, so it was about middle of March when my first consultation was. So we were already expecting to have to go talk to them, go to treatments, whatever. Anyway, January came and went, February came and went, and I still didn't have my period in February. Again, not a huge, alarming, exciting factor. Normally, about a week before I start my period, my chest hurts and gets tender. And that happened. My chest started to get tender, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna start my period in about a week. That's just a little sign that my body gives me, you know? Usually it's tender and then kind of tapers off, and then I start. This time, end of February, beginning of March, it was tender, sore, and then didn't go away. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's weird, but still didn't think anything of it. Period still didn't come. And I was like, well, it should have come by now, according to the tenderness. Still didn't think anything of it. So finally, I was, 99.9% sure that I was not pregnant. So I was like, I just need to take a pregnancy test just to get to like 100% sure. I'm pretty much sure I'm not pregnant. Anyway, I'm not getting my hopes up. I just need to take it. So I had one from a couple months before, whatever, when I took one. So I had one left, and my other cousin, and I don't know if this is true, but my other cousin said, if you want to take a pregnancy test, make sure it's your first P of the morning, because that's when your HCG levels are highest. So I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I did. But Monday and Tuesday, I was like, I'm gonna take the test today, and then I would forget to take it in the morning, and I could have taken it, but I was just like, well, I wanna make sure I get the best reading possible. So finally, Wednesday, March 8th, I remembered to take it in the morning, my first P, I got it out. Like I said, almost 100% sure I was not pregnant. I was just taking it to get that sliver of what if just completely out of my mind and be expecting to start my period in a couple days. So I use it, and I set it on the counter, and I'm not even finished cleaning up and I glance over and there are 2 bright pink lines. I was like, I could not believe it. I was like, no, what? No, what? Seriously? Really? No, there's no, what? And I kept looking at it like this, like, no, what? No, really? Oh my gosh. And I did that for an hour. For a whole hour straight, I was in shock that I was pregnant. Like I wasn't even excited because I was just in shock and could not believe it. So I was like, no way. So I set it down, but there was no denying it. There were 2 distinct pink lines even before the 3 minutes were up, like right away, you're pregnant. So finally now I'm excited, and after an hour I was excited, but for a whole hour I could not believe it. So I finished cleaning myself up, washed my hands, called my husband who just left for work a few minutes before. I was like, hey, where are you? And he's like, I'm by this building. And you know, do you need me to come home? And I was like, well, maybe, yeah. And he's like, well, do you need me to? And I was like, I wanted him to come home, but I also didn't want him to be late for work. He wasn't too far out, but still, I was like, no, I guess it's okay. And he's like, is anything wrong? And I was like, no, things are fine. And he's like, okay. And I was like, yeah, I guess I'll just see you after work. And that's kind of like how I was talking. So he's like, okay. But of course, after that, he knew like I was pregnant. So I totally blew it. I should not have even called him. I said I was in shock. And obviously I want to share it with my husband as soon as I find out. Anyway, so he knew, of course, since the phone call. But I was still in shock. I ran to Walmart and bought 2 more pregnancy tests and drank as much water as I could in that short little drive there and back, and took 2 more. And they both said pregnant. It was funny though, because the more I took the test, like the fainter the lines got. So I was like, okay. But it still said I'm pregnant, but I was like, okay, I better stop now. So finally then I was like, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant. So that was super exciting. But yeah, I mean, like I said, we had a fertility date set for a first consultation, so I was not even expecting to be pregnant. And the first one was like, no question, 2 lines, like right away. So that was awesome. So then 2 days later, I went to the doctor here to just get a doctor urine or blood or whatever test they did to make sure the home test was accurate. And of course it was. So then the next Monday, I called and canceled my fertility clinic appointment. I was like, I need to cancel because I'm pregnant. So of course they were excited, even though they've never met me, but that was nice. So anyway, that is the story of how I found out I was pregnant. And here is a clip of me showing my husband that I was pregnant when he got home. Like I said, after the phone call, he basically knew, so I blew it. But I went and bought balloons and wrote on the whiteboard like welcome home daddy and stuff, you know, but here's just the little clip, and it's at night, so the lighting's really bad, but here's the clip of me telling my husband that we were pregnant. Hi. Welcome home.
What? Guess what? I knew it! Yeah! I knew it.
Careful. I'm pregnant now. I gotta be careful.
Oh my god, little baby.
Yeah.
I knew it.
I did it 3 times.
You what? Because you didn't believe it?
Yeah, I still don't.
Wait. Oh.
But we're pregnant!
What one was first?
So anyway, thanks for watching. And if you haven't subscribed already, click the subscribe button down below and like this video if you liked it. And I will see you next time. Bye.